Today, April 1st. Don't get caught with no April Fool's jokes today, man.
Man, smack anybody with April Joe.
You said what?
I'm smacking anybody today.
I
Fool's
feel
joke.
like since 2020, after that, April Fool's got canceled, man.
Right.
Shit too real. Fix my damn. There we go, bomb. April 1st. Yo, what up, man? We back. We are back. Missed y'all Monday, man. For those of you who don't know, I had a death in the family, a close death. My auntie Lisa was still tough for us. Obviously got laid to rest this weekend, but that's why we weren't here on Monday. I'm sure we have all been affected by COVID, some one way or another, unfortunately, and she ended up losing her battle, but she, such a huge impact on my life, on my family's life. And I'll tell a quick story real quick. I wouldn't even be playing football, honestly, if it wasn't for my Aunt Lisa. She always one of those people who encouraged us. She didn't have children, so we were like her kids. Her sister had 8 kids, so we were like her kids. So anything we wanted to do, she encouraged, inspired us to do. And at a young age, I said I wanted to play football, organized football. I've been playing in the streets. Parents didn't. My mom didn't want me to play. Thought I was too thin. Didn't want me to play there early. And my Aunt Lisa ended up taking me and my younger brother Stormy out to the football field. North Lauderdale Raiders signed us up, paid the money, forged my mom's signature, and that really kicked off my organized football career. So just one of many stories, by that beautiful soul. But everything I do going forward will be dedicated to her for sure. But I appreciate y'all and all the messages I received, all the love I received. AB reached out, appreciate you, bro. But yeah, just had to open up with that.
Nah, for sure, man. Like you said, it's family now, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
always it's like it's a lifelong bond, lifelong brotherhood. So our brothers hurt, we all hurt. So again, prayers to you, prayers to the fam. I think like you said, I think we all know how tough that is when we lose somebody close to the family, man. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
man, it's just rough, and we're gonna get through. We're gonna be there for each other. But yeah, we are back, man. I'm not sure what episode this is, but we back. A lot going on. It's like there's always news in the NFL. On the NFL scene, we got opening day for the MLB for baseball. For those baseball fans out there, I would say a casual baseball fan. You got a team at all you grew up rooting for?
nah, man, I'm one of them fans start watching and doing like World Series.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But
yeah.
other than that, nah, not really.
It wasn't no hat. No, it had to be at least a hat. A couple different hats you like to wear.
Man, yeah, still to this day, obviously the Yankees fit it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's a classic. That's a classic.
the New York Mets, that's a classic. I feel as though like the Phillies, the old school Phillies, is a classic. I still wear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Oakland A's.
Oh, that's a tough one. That's one of my favorites too.
Shit, even the Boston Red Sox. I say
We
the
might have to
ML,
start a bracket. We might have to start a bracket for this because it's some tough baseball caps out there. The throwback Marlins,
the Pirates,
um, Pirates tough. Shit, the Phillies. I don't know if you said the Phillies, the Dodgers. That's another classic.
Classic Jones.
Classic hats. We're gonna have to start and see what gets us to
Like
the
even now,
final four.
the Washington Nationals. They them Jones is tough.
Nat Blue. It might not be a. It might. It's probably more. It's probably be harder to find a bad one, honestly, in that MLB. They did they
No,
thing.
for
The
sure,
Braves, all
for
the
sure.
joys. Yeah, we definitely gonna have to get a bracket going. But speaking of brackets, final four, they are set on the men's side and the women's side.
Yeah.
You know who I'm going with on the women's side. UConn. I think it's.
UConn.
I like South Carolina too. Don Staley doing some special things. He pitched a shutout in the fourth quarter, which I don't know if it's good for the game or not, but they doing their thing as well. Obviously, we both picked. What'd you say?
Let's talk about the UConn game. You know, it was some controversy at the end of the game. There was some controversy at the end of the game.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I ain't have my.
You ain't had your glasses.
I ain't have my glasses on.
Man, that was a tough one, man. I know, obviously, you know, UConn fans, like, it is what it is. You know, no call, no foul. But that was a tough one. That's a tough way to lose. I would say that. You know, it was a great game. They was going at it, you know, the whole game. But to be able to have to lose that way, and then, you know, with all the pictures and the videos, man, that was tough. But like,
everybody's speaking out about it. LeBron. Yeah. I mean, literally, anybody who watched the game or watched the highlights. I mean, we've been a part of games where calls are missed, and then you think about, as a player, you know, it's the last. As a fan, you see that play, and you're like, oh man, that's why they lost the game. As a player, I know for me at least, you look at that last play, or if it's a missed field goal or something like that, a drop pass, whatever it is, but you think about all the other plays that, you know, you could have done better on, all the plays that led up to that. UConn had a huge run late in the game. And it all counts. And Gino came out, was like, yeah, I'm sure LeBron never won a game off a bad call and wanted to give it back and things like that. I think anybody who saw the play, we know it was a missed foul call. And like you said, it's a shitty way to lose a game. You know, you don't put it all on the line all year. But shout out to my UConn women. You know, hey, the refs, they wanted to they let them play. I feel like this whole tournament they've been letting them play, honestly, on both sides.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I like that. But that's a big one. That's a big one. You see,
on the men's side, though, we talked about on the men's side. I think we both had Gonzaga.
Yep.
So, you know, that's going to be, you know, a good Final Four. Gonzaga, you got Baylor, you got Houston, and you got UCLA.
Got two Texas. I mean, UCLA, they're not definitely far from a Cinderella, but I don't think a lot of people had them, you know, making it to this Final Four. I see a lot of I didn't realize how many UCLA alum I followed, you know, on the different socials or was friends with, but they are coming out the woodwork. The Pac-12 as a whole had a great tourney, but like you said, you got Houston and Baylor going at it, two Texas teams. So one of the Texas teams will be in the finals, and then you got UCLA and Gonzaga going at it. So who you got? I know we both picked Gonzaga to win. I'm assuming you sticking with the Zags.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Zags. And that Houston and that Baylor game, that's gonna be a tough matchup, man. But I'm gonna go Baylor. I'm gonna go Baylor in that contest, man. Baylor's been balling. They've been doing really well. Mitchell, man, he's been doing some amazing things for them. But just the whole, you know, the way they've been playing is exciting to me. But no knock on Houston, because yeah, they've been balling as well. Obviously,
they're here.
You know, they here in the Final Four. So, but I'm gonna go get the Zags and Baylor in my final come Monday.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, and I think Baylor would give the Zags. They've covered every game, you know, and they've had some big spreads. They've won and covered pretty much every one. So they've been pretty dominant from wire to wire from the beginning of the season. I think Baylor would give them their toughest matchup. Yeah, I still don't think Baylor would beat them, but I would think it'll be a good game. So I'm gonna go with Baylor and Gonzaga being in that final as well. But it's gonna be good, man. March Madness once again did not fail. You know, we got the best four teams down here to close it up. So I'm excited about that for sure. And on the women's side, we got South Carolina 1 seed versus 1. I feel like it's usually you're gonna have a bunch of ones and twos in the finals in the women's side, but it's South Carolina, Stanford going at it, which would be a good matchup. I'm gonna go with South Carolina in that one. I'm rocking with Don Staley. What about you? That defense is crazy.
I'm with you on that one.
Okay, and then you got Arizona and UConn. You already know who I'm going with on that one. So,
I'm gonna go Arizona just because you going with UConn.
Nice. Paige Buckets just won Player of the Year, first freshman to win that award. I put it on my Twitter timeline.
Was it Cole? Was it?
Mm-mm.
It wasn't.
No, I think this was the USA Today one, and I believe
USA.
it was just I believe it was just her, and she was the first freshman to win it. Which I mean, I was surprised by that, honestly, especially just even thinking of all the phenomenal freshmen that had come through that UConn program. I would have thought one of them had won it at some point, but you know, she's the best one. She dropped like 28 last game. Didn't have an assist, which surprised me because she's the best passer I've seen in a while. That team is deep, but you going with Arizona just because you Arizona here, so they got a shot. They lace, like you say, they lace them up.
Yeah, shit, I'm going Arizona, man. They're gonna shock the world. Let's go, AZ. Yeah,
go shock the world out. What else we got, man? So on the football, I think you know, most of the news right now is regarding these quarterbacks. They're saying it's a quarterback where you know, it's a draft where 4 or 5 quarterbacks can go in the first round. We didn't jump on here and talk about that trade. 49ers jumping up to 3, one of your former squads. What do you think about that move? And who do you see? How do you see these quarterbacks coming off the board?
Man, you know, I think we know who's going to be one. Trevor Lawrence. He's going to go down to Jayville, and then from there, man. I honestly, for me, okay, personally speaking, I will go Trevor Lawrence.
One to Jacksonville.
I think if I was the Jets, I would leave the quarterback alone. I've stated that many times on this pod.
You have. You've been consistent with that.
I would stay away from a quarterback because you're gonna bring a quarterback to what you're saying with a higher ceiling than Sam Darnold, supposedly, and have them working with the same, you know, weapons that they have there now. Again, you know, I'm gonna answer your question though, but I would say Trevor won between Zach, your guy, Justin Fields. I would go Justin Fields 2, Zach 3. I would go.
Then you got who you got? You got Trey Lance. You got Mac Jones.
I would go Mac Jones 4, probably Trey Lance 5, and that would be my top 5.
Yo, shit, we got the same. I guess great minds think alike, because that's how I got them ranked as well. And
because you think the Jets should take I think the Jets should be down, get some more picks, you know what I mean? Get some weapons for Sam Darnold and see how that goes. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
We somewhere on the same wavelength. I'm with you though.
I think, you know, the Niners didn't even you know, supposedly they didn't even make a call to the Jets at that 2 spot. Which and obviously, you know, the Jets' new head coach Robert Saleh just left the 49ers, so I'm sure he got a relationship with those guys. So I feel like it's a foregone conclusion that the Jets are going to go with a quarterback. You know, Joe Douglas didn't draft Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold have been there. You know, I feel like we've seen what Sam Darnold can be. Have we seen the best of Sam Darnold? No. Have you seen Sam Darnold in the best possible situation? Absolutely not. But to say that that's just the reason that he has played the way he has is to cast the characters around him is false. You know, I don't watch the tape. I don't watch Sam, and it's a lot. He's not bringing that team along. He's not making the guys around him better. Do I think he can still he has a chance to be a good quarterback in this league? Yes. But you picking at the number 2 spot, you got to take one of these guys with a higher ceiling. Me personally, I would take Justin Fields at the 2 spot. I know everybody's falling in love with Zach Wilson. I turned on the tape, and you can only play the guys you line up across. I completely understand that, and he dominated his competition. But you know, I'm watching, you know, North Alabama and UTEP and like just Western Kentucky. Like
what you trying to say about these smaller schools? What you trying to say?
Listen, I ain't trying to listen.
Listen, I just asked a question. What you trying to say?
He playing against a lot of future accountants, lawyers, doctors. The other guys are playing against a lot of pro football players. That's what I'm saying. And it's going to be a big adjustment. It's going to be a big adjustment, man.
I mean, it's going to be a big adjustment wherever you come from. I don't care about that. Like you can't give me that narrative. It's going to be a big adjustment wherever you come from. You're going to have maybe 10 guys out this draft that it's not going to be a huge adjustment for, that they're going to come in and ball. We've seen a lot of
everybody. It's a huge adjustment, everybody.
Exactly. And we've seen a lot of quarterbacks come from big time schools that come in and stink it up, right? So Agreed. They come to from big time schools and stink this shit up. Like, dang, like they was at so-and-so last year and they was doing this, that, and the third, because what? They've had some of probably the best coaching, the best players at every position around them. So of course it's gonna make them look great. You know what I mean? So for me, it's one of them things where, like you say, and I hate to keep going back to Sam Darnold, where you like, oh, you got to take a quarterback. Like, again, if you're in that position, you feel as though a guy that's in the draft that plays the same position.
He's one of those quarterbacks from a big time school with a bunch of first round picks around who came in and stunk it up.
Has a high ceiling. Another guy. I know you back on the Tua train. You've been on it. You've been off it. You back on it. So again, with that
back on it at the front.
So again, I'm not gonna say that he stunk it up, but he didn't wow you last year.
No, I mean super early. And the source we talked to about him, his teammate, one of his teammates, somebody in the building said, it was really early for him, coming off a major injury. And like, I wouldn't say Tua stunk it up. He didn't do enough for me to say, hey, this is my guy for the future.
My point.
But comparing him to what the body of work that we've seen from Sam Darnold, it's not as small. Sam Darnold has played for multiple years in this league. We've seen him. We've seen quarterbacks come in with bad surrounding cast and still play decent or well.
Name me one who had a horrible coach. A horrible coach, and the cast around him was terrible, and they've done something. Yeah, think hard on this one.
I gotta think. I'll come back to you on that one.
I respect that. I just don't want you to just throw the name out. I respect that. And look, I value your opinion because I know you know ball and I know what you're talking about. I just got to disagree on this one just because of I feel as though you have a high pick. Oh, I got to get a quarterback. But you draft a quarterback, and you throwing that quarterback in the same fire that Sam Darnold is in now. Now you giving that quarterback you're doing a disservice to him.
But this is the thing, though. I don't think Sam Darnold's fire is I don't think it's as bad as people paint it. I think Sam Darnold makes that shit show more of a shit show. That's my take from him, because when I watch the film, I'm like, all right, let me evaluate this dude when he's throwing from a clean pocket. Let me evaluate this dude when guys are open. Let me evaluate these dudes when the play call is good. And then let me see what he does. So it's not just like, oh, let me just watch him. Oh, he getting his head tore off. Oh, these concepts are terrible. These receivers aren't getting open. I'm looking at it from an objective standpoint. So it's not like Sam Darnold is, when I look at him, it's not like he's doing things to make the situation better. He's making the situation worse. So if I can bring in, and I like Robert Saleh, everything I heard about him is good. So I think Joe Douglas, the same thing. So I think the Jets are heading in the right direction, and I think you got to have the right guy driving that train. I think Zach Wilson I believe, has a higher ceiling than Sam Darnold. Justin Fields for sure has a higher ceiling than Sam Darnold. I personally would like to see Justin Fields go to San Francisco.
What is your ceiling? Like, what is your ceiling based off of?
The talent, what you can do, how can you make the guys around you better? Sam Darnold doesn't make the guys around him better. You stated on this podcast that Zach Wilson hasn't played enough ball. He came out of nowhere. So from what you've seen out of Zach Wilson, where you said that he hasn't played enough ball for me to really kind of critique. I didn't say he didn't play enough. What I was saying was that his level of competition wasn't as high, but you can still see talent talent is talent. You can still see the talent. What I'm saying is if I'm comparing them and I look at Zach Wilson and his talent compared to the level of competition he played against, and then I look at a Justin Fields against the level of competition that he played against, I'm going with Justin Fields. Now, would I take Mac Jones and his talent because he played against better competition? No, Zach Wilson is a more talented quarterback than Mac Jones, in my opinion. Mac Jones will if I put Zach Wilson in that Alabama offense, I think Zach Wilson puts up even better numbers with that talent around him. Throwing from a clean pocket damn near every time. Guys damn near always open. Like, it's different. Right. So it's always it's a slide scale. But like we done seen a bunch of quarterbacks. A bunch of them come in, like you said, stink it up. Guys had great college careers coming to the league and it's a lot of variables. It's not as easy just picking that guy and putting him on it. It's a lot of variables that go into any player being good. That goes for every position, especially the quarterback position. But if I'm they got LaFleur up there, who's supposed to be another one of these, kind of offensive, great minds. Yeah, great minds. So yeah, everybody get the guru tag thrown around now. Right. But at this point, man, I feel like I've seen enough Sam Darnold. And once again, you know how these front office people think too. If we're not married, if I didn't draft you at 3, I don't have as big as an issue moving on from you and drafting another guy at 2.
I get it. I get it. All I'm talking about, again, like you said, coming from a front office viewpoint, if I'm there, it's like, we really got to critique this film. We got to critique what was around this particular player that we have to lean on to get our organization to the next level. And for me, it's like, okay, well,
it's not all on the quarterback either.
It's not. Like you said, they got to.
That's what you're saying. Bill, put a better team, put a better move, get more capital
around this one person that we're trying to be like, look, take us to the promised land. But it got to be more than that. And in my eyes, it will be ideal where we say, okay, we're talking to teams. Look, we can trade down. Look, let's get a receiver. Let's get some pieces on defense or whatever the case may be, so we can get a true outfield or a true evaluation of who this guy truly is. But again, like
so you still feel like you don't have a real evaluation of who Sam Darnold is.
I mean,
I feel like we giving Sam a hell of a pass. I feel like if AB got drafted top 3, 33rd, 103rd, wherever you come in and you got 3 years where you're not playing well for whatever reason, you giving up touchdowns, you blowing coverages and doing. People not gonna look at HB and say, we got to look at is the pass rush getting are they communicating well? Like, you're not getting that pass, so I'm not giving Sam Darnold that pass.
You should give him a pass. I'm not asking you to give him a pass. I'm just talking about what I know that goes on in the game of football. I'm not talking about people. I'm talking to a guy that knows this game. So we know, and you just said it. Like, it's more. It's just more. Go out there and play quarterback for me. It's like, okay, what is my coaches teaching me? Like, what am I? You know what I'm saying? What are my progressions? Like, you're watching film and you like, it's obviously he got to be doing this, that, and the third. But a lot of times we know coaches in the meet room telling us something totally different than we should be doing. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm
agreed.
Again, I'm just trying to give a different viewpoint where
I feel you. And a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, I don't feel as though Sam Darnold is as trash as, we just coming in and say, look, we can get one of these young guys that's in the draft and we can plug them in and we're going to be way better than what we were prior or, when we had Sam Darnold. That's all I'm saying. Like, we could just pick a quarterback, put him in there and be like, oh, he way better than Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? And I get the ceiling talk. I get the, the possibility of what they will be able to do. I get, I didn't draft him, so I don't have any ties to him. I get all of that. I respect it, but for me, if I'm in that decision making seat, I really have to take a look at me changing quarterbacks. Is that going to make my team that much better, rather than me getting pieces around a quarterback that's already here? And that's just a decision I feel as though you really got to sit down and make.
Yeah, that's why they get paid the big bucks, man. And and you'll be surprised at the amount of football that a lot of these, I'm not talking about the Jets decision makers, but a lot of these decision makers don't know and can't piece together. And you look back at all the drafts when quarterbacks were taking 1, 2, or 4 in the first round, and a lot of them don't pan out. You have a lot of misses for a variety of reasons. So it's definitely not all about the quarterback, but that's a big decision that the Jets are gonna have to make. And we're gonna see. I mean, I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point. They're gonna go to quarterback, and I'm definitely not calling Sam Darnold trash. I think he could be a good quarterback if he's put in a great situation. I think a good spot would be to go if they can make a trade. Pittsburgh can make a trade for him, and possibly he goes sit behind Ben for a year, and then maybe he's the next guy there. Stable organization that could put some pieces around him, piece that O-line back together. I think that'd be a good spot for him in Pittsburgh. But we'll see. But enough. Okay, Mike. Yeah, enough of the Sam Darnold. Mike Ward. Okay, I see you watched the Sam Darnold breakdown. I was looking at plays said good Darnold, bad Darnold, way too much bad Darnold. But man.
With the Niners, you think Jimmy G out of there?
I mean, every time one of these higher ups speak and they speak on these guys, a lot of times we look the opposite way. All right, if they saying this, let me look that way. So they made the trade and they said, hey, we don't have any plans of moving on from Jimmy G this year, blah, blah, blah. I think if they're offered the price is right. I think Kyle Shanahan came out and said that. I think he moves on. But ultimately, I think their plan is to draft the quarterback and maybe try to groom them into, becoming the starter, not throwing them in there day one. Just like you saying with the Jets, like you don't think the proper answer is throwing the quarterback in there day one. I think Shanahan and Lynch looking at it the same way. Like, hey, maybe we bring a quarterback in, light a fire under Jimmy G, because Jimmy G, talent-wise, he's good enough to be a good starting quarterback, but we know best ability is availability, and he hasn't been available for the Niners. And Shanahan didn't really hold any punches when speaking on that. So they're going to go draft the guy. And I think after this year, for sure, 1,000% Jimmy G's out of there. And I think if he can stay healthy, he'll be a good quarterback for somebody.
Yeah, but we already know how that goes. You draft a quarterback at 3. Well, short leash.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we had Tyrod on as one of our last interviews. Y'all go check that episode out, man. Phenomenal episode. Not only about football, but just just views on life, in general. So check that episode out if you haven't. But yeah, you draft the guy at 3. It's clear that Jimmy G's not going to be the future there. And Shanahan. Everybody keeps talking about Shanahan and his system, and Mac Jones, the perfect quarterback for his system, and this quarterback may not be. I think we've seen Shanahan coach, Matt Schaub, RG3, Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan, and all these quarterbacks have had their best seasons. I think for them, if Justin Fields is sitting there at the board saying Wilson goes to the Jets, even if he doesn't, I think Justin Fields is the best pick there. And what do you think? I want to get your thoughts on these narratives and these things that are coming out now about Justin Fields, because he's been the number 2 guy really since high school behind Lawrence. Him and Lawrence kind of been 1 and 2, and he went to O State and did nothing to, in my opinion, to drop him down. But now we get into the draft process. Zach Wilson flies up. He's the next, John Elway. And now Mac Jones, he's flying up. He's the next Tom Brady, perfect for the system. And now you're hearing the reports Justin Fields may not be. Is he hungry to be a great quarterback, or last guy in, first guy out type shit? What do you feel about these type narratives?
It's BS to me, man. It's BS to me because, again, like you said, like this guy, he's been number 2 to Trevor Lawrence the whole time, right? And nothing he's done that we've seen, like you said, to drop him down. So just at this time of the draft, for these narratives to come out, and it seems like it only happens to black quarterbacks, to be frank, to be honest, like, doesn't work hard. Like, come on, like you can see what he does. You can just see his body type. Like, that's the guy that works hard. You know what I'm saying?
You're not waking up.
Yeah, he's waking up and he's thinking about his career. What he puts in his body, the time he puts into the weight room. So I think the narrative is BS. It could be some play with words just so can throw a team off or something like that. So
you've seen it happen before.
Yeah. So and again, like where are these narratives coming from, right? Is it coming from somebody within Ohio State, organization or camp? But I think it's BS, man, and I hate it that these young guys have to go through this and have to deal with the BS that's being said about them.
Yeah, I mean, I hate it too. I'm right there with you, and I mean, I watched the pro day. Matter of fact, on that day, I went back and watched all of the top 5 quarterbacks, their pro days, and then went and watched every throw and run from the 2020 season. A lot of people knocking him, not being able to go through progressions. I've seen plenty of evidence of him being able to go through progressions, be accurate, anticipate throws. If it's anything from Fields, I would say I would want him to use his athleticism more. I would say he took maybe too many sacks. He could have took off earlier sometimes. We've seen him go out and run 4.4 at 6'3", damn near 230. We see, he chiseled. I watched him throw the ball, accurately with pop coming out of his hands. Came out of his hands completely different than Mac Jones. Mac Jones accurate, but he's one of those. I don't even know how to say it. I wouldn't say he throws lollipops, but a lot of drop in, even the dig routes. Like I like, in the NFL, those windows are tight. So when you're throwing to Devontae Smith and Waddle, you can kind of put it in there like that. But we need some of them things on the rope, and I didn't see a lot of that from his pro day. Didn't see much on film, but everything I've seen on film, it looks like Justin Fields. He's everything you want, and especially in today's NFL at the quarterback position. The narratives, I'm right there with you. I think it's bullshit, especially with a year like this. I mean, is he the last guy joining the Zoom meetings? The first guy, where is this coming from? All the things that the Big Ten dealt with football wise, and for him to still lead that team to where they were at the end of the year, he played some of his best football against Clemson and against Alabama. So I think it's BS as well. I hate it. We've seen it happen year in, year out over the draft. A lot of black quarterbacks, even some white ones too. I go back to one of my team back in 1984, before I was even born. They did it to my goddamn Marino. He dropped in the draft. Still to this day, one of the best throws that we've seen. But we've seen Herbert. They had some knocks on him. I think Baker, he still went one. But I hate to see it, and I hate to see the lazy narrative over and over again. I know Dan Orlovsky getting a lot of heat for it, for saying it on Pat's show. He was repeating something he heard from somebody else. But obviously, in this day and age, especially, that messenger is going to get killed as well. So, you got to know, you got to be careful what messages, you repeating.
You put out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Even with the times have changed since I entered the league, right? So when you talk about first man in, last man out, right? I understand that being a quarterback, you are the dude, right?
Yeah.
But when I came into the league, just to paint a picture, when we were watching film, we had to get DVDs, right?
And it's 2006, right?
2006, right? So you either had to go in and watch film. So if you wanted to get some extra film time, which a lot of times that's why you coming in early. Like you might come.
Facts.
But a lot of times you were coming in early to get that extra film, right? So you could get the cowboy, you could see it on the screen, right? And then you will be the last man out, because guess what? After practice, after you had your team meetings and your position meetings, we'll go back into the film room and get some more film, right? So first man in, last man out. Man, he's on the film, and he's getting it in, right?
Yep.
Now we have iPads, right? We have iPads where the film guys, you can call the film guy and like, look, I need you to shoot the third down tape to my iPad. I need you to shoot the first and second down runs to my iPad. Now you sitting at the crib, right?
Mm-hmm. I want 3rd and 4 to 7. I want to break down this 3rd and 4 to 7 real quick.
I need all of if I'm going against a quarterback, I need all of Ron Fitzpatrick third down in the red zone. I need to see what, you know what I'm saying? And you can break it down to a T. So now just the way the game is set up, I don't have to be the first man in or the last man out. I could be at home on the toilet I could literally.
That's where I watch about 65% of my film.
Yeah, so I could have my iPad. So now even with that narrative, man, it's kind of tough for me to hear that. Like now, you just don't want a guy just to be the first one in the building, the last one out. Just like it's ways you can be productive throughout the day without necessarily having to be that first man in, last man out. You know what I mean? And get it. You got to spend time in the building. You have to do that to be, especially playing that position. But I just hate when people just keep throwing that first man in, last man out, because that first man in, last man out, he could be doing that just because he don't want to be home with his wife and his family and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And that term is outdated. And I heard, matter of fact, your coach, I never got a chance to play for Tony Dungy. But I saw some different things where he would get on certain coaches and certain players for spending too much time in the building. Because as a player, as a man, you gotta try to find some type of balance. And obviously, you want football to be, priority number one during the season, especially for that quarterback position. And as a pro, it's so much. I know when I was a pro, like you said, the game has evolved. Everything has evolved. Even like how you take care of your body. I know for me, I got a lot more done on my body outside of the building. Personally, later on in my career, I trusted and I, had different people that my own chiropractor, my own, acupuncture person, or all these different MAT, ART. So it's a lot more. You can be watching film while you're getting those type of things done on your iPad. So I'm right there with you with that narrative. And we know guys draft positions can be affected from, especially if it's coming from guys that are in the building, coaches, strength coaches, things like that. They can definitely knock your position down. But me personally, I heard Ryan Day speak about him many a times. I just don't see, any, I'm calling BS on it. I'm right there with you. And you made some great points. And I guess I'm a little old too, because I remember getting the DVDs when I first came in the league too. But yeah, man, I'm tired of that shit. But
yeah,
what else we got, man? We got to get some. I got to take my little. I got to take my little break real quick. I'll be right back. We're gonna start taking questions.
Man, y'all put them questions in here, man.
Boop, 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 boop.
But who throughout all these pro days, we're gonna talk about these 40 times too. When D-Bug get back, it's a lot of fast times this year. A lot of fast times this year at these pro days. Do y'all think it's BS, or you think guys are just built different? A lot of 4.2s, well, not a lot, but more 4.2s this year than in the past. 4.3s. What do y'all think about these 40 times? We definitely gonna get on this Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts. I seen that question up there in the chat too. Most baked for sure, man. D-Buck. Now I think D-Buck is gonna check on the little ones, make sure they ain't skipping school. First D player taken. I think the first D player is gonna be a corner. I'm not sure. Maybe P. Surtain. I think it's gonna be a corner though. That comes off the board first. That's my opinion. Matt Maringer, man, I agree with you. But I was asking what they thought about these 4.2s, 4.3s this year.
Hey man, I see a lot of hate. Out there in the socials because of these times. But I mean, the times, I think they're real times. They just hand time. You're not dealing with the same elements that you deal with at the combine. We both went to the combine. You got that laser. And then somebody made a great point yesterday on my timeline. I'm sure this affects different players differently, but the whole process of the combine, right? So the combine, you come in there on that first day, you got, medicals and a bunch of meetings, long days. You're getting up early, especially if you're coming in with some injury. You're getting up 5, 6 something in the morning. You got these long days. And then that last day, that's when you actually do, you're jumping and you're running and feel stuff. So I know what me personally, I was kind of mentally exhausted. I was kind of, I wouldn't say tapped out because I was, it was a big moment in my life, but it was tough. So pro days, you're controlling all that type of stuff. You're controlling the environment, you're controlling the elements. And it's hand times, which we know these scouts go off their hand times anyway. So, you're going to get it reported. Some agents are going to be reporting sometimes, some other times be leaked. So it's going to be a discrepancy there. So, I ain't going to hate on these boys. These boys might just be built different too. They out there moving, man.
Built different, man. Like, shit. I mean, but the times change, So that I love to see it, man. If it's going to help these get money, man, get paid.
And then I don't know if you saw this, AB, but I retweeted it. A BYU receiver who I came back. He came back and caught passes from. I think he might have been in the league already and got cut or something. Came back, caught passes from Zach Wilson, ran a 4.34 at their pro day, and then ended up getting signed. I think got signed by the Panthers. So, hey, stay ready.
Stay ready. So you
got to get ready.
Yeah. Hey, it was a question up here earlier. Kyle Pitts or Ja'Marr Chase? If you was a GM, who you going with first? Who you picking first?
Shit.
I know my answer.
Man, I mean, you can't go wrong. It really depends on the team, honestly. But I guess, it's tough. I will go. I'm going Kyle Pitts. I'm gonna go Kyle Pitts. He just different, and he gonna have better matchups. Ja'Marr Chase. He gonna come in. He gonna be a phenomenal receiver as well, but he gonna have cover guys guarding him every snap. Probably the other team's one of their best cover guys. Kyle Pitts, you probably gonna have the team's third or fourth best cover guy on him at times. So matchup wise in the NFL, I'm gonna go with Kyle Pitts. What about you? You said the same thing?
Same thing, Kyle Pitts. Like you said, just thinking about matchups. You know what I mean, and just how much a tight end could help your quarterback. And being able to have, a tight end like that where you're going to have, you might have a linebacker on him, you might have a nickel, safety, and then with his measurables, him running the 4.4, I think he had the longest wingspan in
history, I think.
You know what I mean? And then I think he jumped, something respectable in the 40. Now he's running away from linebacker.
Why does that wingspan matter? Let people know who may not know why that wingspan matters.
So you thinking about, you got somebody that's 6'5" right now. He's already 6'5". So just think about your average DB is what? About 6'1", 6'2"?
Right, probably between 5'11", 6'1", probably something like that.
So then it's just talking about the red zone, and you line them up and. Shit, awesome. That's a tough matchup for a DB.
That catch rate is crazy.
It's crazy. So I don't care how good of a coverage you're in or good of the spot that you're in. That catch rate is just crazy. So just being able to have him and what he'll be able to do for your offense, for your quarterback, man, that'll be a good look for offense.
All right, man. Before we get to the rest of these questions, man. We got to talk about. I got a nice little care package in the mail. Did you get your care package?
I got my care package, baby.
All right, man. Anybody out there that's manscaping and then think they clean their clippers and then shaving their face after and shit or before, that's nasty. All right, that's real nasty, man. Go out and hit Manscaped, man. We got a special code for y'all too, man. Man to man, right? We gonna get y'all 20% off. The number 2, okay? Man to man. We're going to get y'all 20% off. They sent me a nightmare care package. This already cracked open. Along with the lawnmower 3.0. They got some bald. If y'all men out there, as soon as you get out that shower, you probably got a good 7 to 9 minutes before them balls might got a little must to them. So these ball preserver, this is the first thing I use.
Do your significant other a favor, man.
You know what I mean? They sent a nice little, they got t-shirts, got some boxer briefs, man.
Good stuff.
Hey, good stuff, man. Got even newspaper, man. You know what I mean? Who said somebody said they wax? Oh, that's Chelsea. I was about to say you wax. You're strong. Hey,
Oh,
Yeah, we not out here waxing. We not that tough. Women tougher than us. We already know that. Nah, no
but
pause, man. I'm trying to help y'all out.
yeah, man. Like D-Buck said, man to man, make sure it's the number 2. Tell them we sent you, man. Good stuff. Prior to though, I had tapped in a while ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it works. It works, gentlemen. So y'all get
Definitely
right, man.
work. Smooth. No injuries, no nicks. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have to go on IR PUP for a couple of days. It's smooth, man. The ball toner. What up? It's a spray. I ain't use the spray. You use a spray?
Nah, I ain't use a spray yet. 2021,
Yeah.
man. We gotta step our game up, man. Let's
Got,
get it. Gotta step our
got
game
to.
up.
One
Man to
more
man.
time. Give him that code one more time, bro.
Man to man with the number 2. The number 2.
20% off and free shipping. And free shipping. And your balls and your significant other. Well, thank you. But let's get to some more of these questions, man, before we let y'all go. Boo, 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 boo. Static 12-17. With Green Bay entering the season with the new DC, do you think the Packers will go defense first with their draft picks? Who's the new DC? And I thought Pet was still there. But what you think about that, AB?
Nah, they got him out of there after that. After that, got him out of there quick. I think they got all their. I don't know. I don't think they go.
But they got Joe Barry. Okay, I did see that. That's right. They got Joe Barry in there. By the way, we had Adrian Amos on the pod as well. Any Packers fans out there, check that pod out. He talked about that infamous play call before the half in the playoffs that probably cost Mike Pettine his job. Yeah. But you say, I mean, I say no. They got to go offense, man. I think you got to get A-Rod a weapon, man. You re-sign Aaron Jones, another weapon. You got Devontae Adams, obviously. You got MVS, you got Lazard, you got some guys out there, but you got to get a dynamic playmaker for A-Rod. Go all in. You've been in the NFC Championship back-to-back years, 13-3. A-Rod's coming off an MVP type season. You haven't really given him a bunch of help throughout his career in the draft. He's gonna make guys around him better. But I think they go offense, whether that's O-line up front, whether that's a pass catcher, which I think it should be. But I don't think they go defense first. But you never know with the draft.
Yeah.
Never know with the draft. What you think? We didn't get thought. What you think about the 17-game season too?
I'm glad I'm out. I obviously it's money talks.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I just talk about like if we talking about player safety and things of that nature. Already toward the end of the season, guys are limping into the playoffs.
Yep.
A lot of injuries, so just to add another game, I think it's going to be tough. But again, I think we're going to transition with the times. I know, at one point it was 14 games.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was some talks to change it. Some people that didn't want to change to 16, but it did, and it worked out well. So adding the game. Hopefully the guys will get compensated for that extra game. However, that's going to happen. But I know the owners I know they love it.
Absolutely.
And then Van, I see Van say 17 games extra check, but really all they're going to do is spread it out through your salary anyway. So one way or another, you can get the same amount. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we go. We saw the TV deals, and like you said, money talk. Especially for that owner, and the players voted on this as well. And you got 1,696 players, all in very different situations when it comes to money, longevity, all these different things. So you almost never gonna get all the guys on the same page. So I think probably more guys voted for the extra game. I think down the line, they're gonna end up getting more money regardless. But that 18-week season now. I think they got 2 bye weeks. I was surprised they didn't drop another preseason games. I think it's 2 bye. I'm not positive, but I think it's 2 bye weeks. I saw 3 preseason games still, which I think is too many. I think if you go up to 17 real games, 2 preseason game max. But you're gonna get rid of the 500 season. Nobody's going 8-8 anymore. And like you said, it went the longest time. I think I forgot the year, maybe 1973 or something like that, since they changed from 14 to 16. So you get an extra game, violent game, man. And it may just seem like, oh, it's one extra game, it's this and that, but that's that's that. Those games are physical, especially going down the stretch when they matter. But yeah, man, it's off the tone said just one bye, so that's tough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's just one bye. Then Matt said it's 3 preseason games, so they did take.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they should have took at least one more off.
But and then that's why I say it gets a little tricky because so say I agree with you. Like 17 games, this should be 2 preseason games, but now. Just that time to evaluate the talent, and for the young guys who's on the bubble, it would just be tough for them as well. Just having them 2 preseason games, so the 17 game, man, it throws a wrench in it all the way around.
Yeah, it does. But that money talks. I mean, hopefully we'll see what they do as far as expanding the rosters. But I mean, revenue should be going up. It should be skyrocketing with these TV deals. I always want these guys to get paid more, but more importantly, I know these men, these are people first. So when you look at, I look at certain friends of mine, former teammates, and what the effects of the game that they have on them, after football, will always kind of, be priority for me. So I know how violent the game is. So adding that extra game, not a fan of it. As people that cover the game now, as somebody who bets on the game and talk about betting, it's good from that standpoint. But as far as when it comes to the people, not a big fan of it. But change is inevitable, and we know money is going to drive it. So it is what it is.
Yes, sir. Sure, you was on Good Morning.
Somebody spoke about that too.
You was on You went in there talking that Saquon-ish, huh?
Hey, they asked me a question. They asked me, because I guess they asked the owner, Mara, what was his thoughts on extending Saquon, I think going into his 4th season. And, his comments weren't, it was kind of, kept it PC, I guess. But they asked me, what would I do? Would I extend him? And you already know my answer. My answer was absolutely not. Plays the most violent position on the field. He's getting hit pretty much every snap that he's in there, whether he's running the ball, whether he's pass protecting. And he hasn't been he's far from an Iron Man. He's been banged up since he's got in the league. So that's not a position that I would put a lot of money into, especially after I done put a bunch of money into the receiver position with Golladay. So and I also said I think the Giants should move on from it, which I've been saying on this show for a while. Mike Bennett, he was like, hold on, wait, you tripping with that one. So the Giants fan getting after me a little bit, but we're going to see. I tend to be right at the end of these things. But I want to also say this. I want Saquon, obviously, to have a phenomenal career. Damn sure don't want him to get injured ever again. But I was just speaking, from a decision maker standpoint. Yeah, and I'm sure you still feel the same way. But man.
Same way what?
About the Giants keeping him?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you think they should extend him? I mean, I don't think what you think about extending him?
Yeah, extend him. Extend my man.
Javier say resign him. So I don't know who got the sleeper team. You got a sleeper team this year
team
coming up.
Nah, man, give me some time now. Shit, the season just ended.
Yeah, we gotta at least get. Nobody ain't talking to you, Siri.
Let's get the draft. Let's get the draft first, and I ain't gonna be one of these. Even though we are in media now, but I'm not your typical media guy where I'm just gonna start throwing out shit just so we can talk about it.
Yeah. Mike Gurdy. Y'all think there would be a new record book for the 17-game era? I don't think so.
I don't think so neither.
Yeah, I know it's been a long time since we changed, but I think Jerry Rice Is that Jerry Rice? No, that was a shortened season. But I don't think. I mean, you're gonna see more and more records start to get broken. I think that was happening anyway. I feel like it was a record broken every week. You see that not only in football. I feel like basketball, the same thing. Somebody's breaking the triple-double record or the assist record or something. So those records going, ultimately going to be. I think a lot of Jerry Rice records still going to stand for a long time, though.
Long time. Them Jones ain't going nowhere.
For a long time. I just looked at your hat, man. That's a Valentine's Day jump. You got that for Valentine's Day?
Feeling myself, man. Gotta love yourself. Gotta love yourself first before anything else.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You gotta love yourself before anybody else can love you. Yeah, man. What else we got, man? Whoa, Javier, you tripping. You big tripping with that. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a lot more 5K pass. I mean, like I said, I think that was coming anyway. But I agree with you, Tone. We can answer this from Michael Ward. So far, who's done the best this offseason? Now we got a big part of the offseason still coming up, the draft. But so far, man, the Patriots made a lot of moves. Giants made some big moves. I like the moves they made, but I'm gonna go with the Browns, man. I think the Browns have made some great moves. Andrew Berry doing a phenomenal job once again, another offseason. And I think the Browns, they're my favorite in that AFC North right now. What team you got, AB?
Man, like you said, I think that the Giants did some things. I think the Washington football team quality had some good quality moves.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you said the Patriots.
Patriots, Giants. Who else made some? Chargers made some moves with that O-line. The Cardinals, obviously, they made some moves.
Just with AJ Green. I know some people don't think that's a big move. I like the move. JJ Watt trying to win now. I don't know. But I think a couple teams, man, they put themselves in a good spot as of right now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But y'all know what time it is, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Like I said, miss y'all this Monday. Once again, appreciate everybody reaching out. Take care, man. Be safe. Reach out to somebody today. Hug your loved ones. Love them.
Tell them you love them.
Tell them you love them for sure. Check on them. And like AB said, love yourself, man. It's definitely we still going through some wild times right now, man. Everybody deals with things differently. Everybody has a different type of support system around them. So, be there for somebody. Love yourself. Take care of one another.
And again, man to man.
Man to man.
Get your 20% off. Manscaped.
Get your 20% off, man. Free shipping, all that. Shout out to Manscaped.
Even the ladies in here, do your significant other a favor, man. Order them some stuff, man to man.
Yeah. Man to man with the number. Yes, sir. All right, y'all go holler at Pat McAfee, man. We out.
Peace.